right, take 100 of my first attempt at a podcast without a microphone. Hello, pro-democracy friends. I am going to welcome you to Music Festival 2025, and I am your host, Zoe. Let us attempt to untangle the US's messiest problems with a little bit of evidence and a lot of coffee. Let's have fun while we fight authoritarianism. Today's episode is called How Gender Equality Shapes Peaceful Societies. And before some of y'all roll your eyes thinking, this is another let's all get along, kumbaya, blah 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 talk, just wait a minute as we explore how gender equality isn't just about fairness, it's about whether your country goes to war with itself. And right now we are stabbing ourselves to death. And I would like for us to stop self-sabotaging. America, do you need therapy? Probably. Let's start with a question. What if the secret ingredient to peace isn't military strength, but gender balance? Back in 2005, a political scientist named Eric Melander wrote and researched a piece on this very topic. He found that countries with higher levels of gender equality are significantly less likely to experience internal armed conflict. He didn't just pull this out of his butt. He measured things, and it wasn't the size of his pickle. Get your head out of the gutter. He measured things like whether the country's top leader was a woman, not a big effect there, the percentage of women in parliament, big effect, and the female-to-male ratio in higher education, also a big effect. So basically, more equal societies are less likely to tear themselves apart, less likely to gut themselves from the inside out, kind of like the US is doing now. Melander wasn't alone. Other studies have found that when gender inequality rises, so does the risk of both civil and international conflict. Apparently, when societies sideline half their population, bad things happen. Who could have imagined? Fast forward to 2020. Economist Linda Scott, in her book, The Cost of Sexism, highly recommend, took this idea from the battlefield to the boardroom. She looked at workplaces where more than 70% of employees are men. The results? Higher sexual harassment, worse work-life balance, more autocratic decision-making, and even higher health problems. This is not just bad for women, but for everyone, men and women alike. The U.S. National Library of Medicine found that men in male-dominated industries are at greater risk of work-related fatalities, injuries, and even suicide. So gender imbalance literally kills men. Inequality is bad for business, bad for health, and bad for peace. It's the gift that keeps on taking. Now let's zoom out. Gender equality isn't only about who gets the corner office or who does the dishes. It's about values. That's right, values. Empathy, cooperation, respect for human rights, inclusivity. It's about being a team. When man is on team woman and woman is on team man, we all win. When those values are woven into a nation's political and social DNA, the risk of violent conflict drops. It's like having social antibodies. Equality strengthens a society's immune system against violence. So equality isn't just morally good, it's strategically smart. Logic and compassion go together with sound decision-making, something I'd say Pete Hegseth lacks in both areas. Let's talk about Afghanistan. Nowhere is the link between gender inequality and violence clearer than in Afghanistan. Since the Taliban's return in 2021, Afghan women have been nearly erased from public life, banned from school, from work, even from walking freely without a male escort. What are the consequences? A surge in forced marriages, gender-based violence, and, surprise, surprise, renewed instability. The UN reports thousands of civilian casualties since the Taliban takeover. Experts say it's no coincidence. Societies that repress women tend to be more violent overall. As one study from Georgetown University put it, Nations that marginalize women are far more likely to experience civil conflict and terrorism. Afghanistan is a heartbreaking case study, proof that oppressing women doesn't just silence them. Excuse me, my son just walked in. It tears the fabric of society itself. Say hello.
Hello.
We'll be back after this break. Hello, welcome back. Any of you got kids? All right, so you might think, okay, but that's Afghanistan. Things like that don't happen here in the US of A. Oh, sweet, sweet baby Jesus. We are sliding backwards, my friends. This process begins with boundary violations. This is a little bit of a narcissistic psychology, if you will, since that is who is in the White House right now. So, boundary violations that may initially seem minor but escalate over time, often involving manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional coercion to maintain control. They make the not normal seem normal until you're caught. And that's why we are fighting against that. Let's talk about something a bit more concrete. In April 2025, the U.S. Department of Defense, under Secretary Pete Hegseth, terminated its internal Women, Peace, and Security program. This program wasn't some woke workshop, by the way. It was a bipartisan law. That's right, bipartisan. And get this, it was signed in 2017 by Donald effing Trump. I know. It was designed to integrate women's participation into peace and security processes. Listen, if Donald Trump wants to do something good, I'm all about that. But, that's not really what's happening right now. Hegseth dismissed it online as another woke initiative and blamed Joe Biden promising to defund it completely. Critics, including defense experts, warned that cutting this program doesn't just undermine women, it undermines peace. As one statement put it, at a time of record-breaking global conflict, eliminating WPS weakens U.S. national security. It's like, let me think, removing the smoke detectors because they beep too much. And it's not just defense policy. Other domestic trends are heading in the wrong direction too. Let's talk about abortion restrictions. A recent U.S. study found that in counties where access to abortion was heavily restricted, incidents of intimate partner violence rose by up to 10%. In Missouri, after a series of restrictions between 2012 and 2023, homicide rates among women, especially Black women, jumped dramatically. Meanwhile, immigrant women and LGBTQ+ survivors have lost oversight protections as key offices inside Homeland Security were quietly dismantled. These are not isolated issues, they form a pattern. When women lose rights, everyone loses safety. The long peace after World War II didn't just happen because of nukes or NATO, though I give NATO quite a bit of credit. It also happened because the world slowly and painfully began to value equality. And now, as that equality is being chipped away, the peace that came with it may not be far behind. So gender equality isn't just a checkbox on the moral scorecard, it's a strategic imperative, which is why gender equality is one of the SDGs founded by the United Nations. Here are some closing thoughts. I would like to leave you with my absolutely favorite quote from Linda Scott's The Cost of Sexism. Baboon hierarchy has a single alpha male at the top who acquires and maintains his rank by beating any challenger in a fight. The alpha spends most of his time intimidating the other baboons and sticking his nose in everybody's business. He does not find food, but waits for the other females to do it. And when the group is attacked, he finds a safe place to hide and lets the other males do the fighting. In other words, he is a freeloader and a coward, as well as a bully. Sound like anyone you know? I'm Zoe, and this is Music Festival 2025. Until next time, remember, true strength isn't domination, it's balance.